All right.
That's
Oh,
funny.
that's
I
actually
wonder if
so.
it's definitely still there.
It's so good. Oh, on your one trade. Yeah. All right. We should be up. Yo, what up, wizard? All right. I'm gonna pop out the chat so I can see it. Sorry for the unplanned live stream. AM and I just kind of texted each other. I was gonna go live and he wanted to join, so here we are.
Something.
So thanks everyone for joining. Basically, it's kind of a Q&A, so you guys can ask anything. We'll answer it, and then I can also review the price action from this week from my perspective, and then AM can go over some stuff that he saw this week as well. Um, so hold up, I'm gonna open up a window with chat real quick. Give me a second. All right, sick. So, is the futures chart for S&P the same as the options trading one? You mean SPX? No. SPX is the index, S&P is the futures. So they're correlated, but they're not gonna be the same.
Don't use ETF
Yeah.
charts. You're gonna
Yeah.
have a lot of gaps in your data.
Yeah. Uh, any trades today? I took one, but it was pretty quick because I had to go to school. All right. Maybe I'll just start on a blank chart and then kind of go through my analysis for the week. We'll do that. All right. All that. Yeah, we both trade ICT concepts. Yeah, I'll go over the fibs in the live stream. So what I'm gonna do is actually hop into replay mode until we're back on Friday, going into Monday, and I'll just kind of explain what I was seeing in terms of price action for that and my idea. So the way I saw it was I watched, if you haven't seen it, it's Currency Merchant. He had a video on it, but I was watching this daily high right here. And if we go through here, and I'll make it look kind of clean because we got time out here. We're not in a rush. So we took this daily high, right? This previous whatever high, right? Failure swing high. We close back into the range. Opening it up Monday, that gives me the bias down. Where could I be targeting? Well, you could target this little order block, which would be kind of a prop block, but I was just looking for this daily low. If you understand the strat, that's just kind of what I was looking for. Previous day low in comparison to here. Um, yeah, this video will be recorded. But with that idea in mind, if I drop down to the lower time frames, geez, I'm forgetting sometimes what I even did this last week. But um, what did I want? Basically just wanted this low ran. And I think I had the 12-hour order block marked out. So I had that marked out. And I think I was focused on NQ earlier in the week, but we'll just do it for that. Yeah, let me see real quick. Yeah, NQ I had 12-hour block marked out. But anyways, I'm just gonna go through a quick little bias on it and then I'll go back through and explain on the other chart. But we'll go back out to the daily or we'll set on the 4. So with that idea in mind, just shooting for previous day low, right? Which the replay mode just like quit. What is this? All right, well, anyways, I was expecting Monday bearish. So if we're thinking of a weekly template, bearish here, put in a low Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, doesn't really matter to me before we reach higher. That was kind of my idea for the beginning of the week. So then as we retch down, we swept this low right here and before going higher. And then that leads into a bullish continuation for me for FOMC. And then as you can see, we reach up over this high and that's when you're expecting Thursday PM reversal or Friday down. So that's why I was bearish today. But with that idea in mind, we're just gonna hop over to this chart so you guys can I can explain it. I'm sure you probably saw it on uh, Twitter, but we're gonna go to it hourly. So this is what I was looking for. So essentially, Monday we ran right here, right? And if you haven't already noticed, I kind of talk about this, but deviation from the range. I kind of hinted on it at Twitter, but what happens when you retest that deviation? I'd like to see that resist price, right? So we sweep. I want to see this area resist price, which it did okay. It did a little better over here. I'll explain that. But that gives us our Monday down. Now, if we displace below this accumulation over here, right, and don't displace back into the range aggressively, that is when I'm looking for this original consolidation. So my original plan, I believe, I can't remember exactly what it was to reach for these lows. When this changed right here and aggressively went back into the range, that's when my eye draws to what? This low resistance liquidity right here. So with that idea in mind, for those of you who want to understand these little projections, all it is the move down that swept liquidity. In this case, I'm using the hourly, so it'll be on here. I just go from low to high here, and then I project right there. So that's where that came from. So with that, I'm looking for a run of this high, and this high, which gives me my bullish bias on Tuesday. We go down to a 30-minute, it was super clean, right? So we have our Asian range right here. London sweeps down, comes back in aggressively. We have this breaker right here that we support off of and then continue higher. The thing that I noticed here was what happens when we took this high. Did we displace over it or did we reject it and close, right? And we displaced over it, which gives me that breaker structure up. I'm leaning more bullish, right? What happens here? This is FOMC. Well, after a large range day, you expect consolidation at least during Asia. Then we get a seek and destroy pattern. So going into FOMC, we took this high first, which gave me the reason to think lower. Where are our lows? Well, right in here. And then with FOMC expecting volatility, I want to see us reach into a discount or PD array, which we have an hourly here. So if you noticed on Twitter, I called 53. That's the reason why I said 53 to 91, right? Because 53, 91 is just those highs there. And then I used my previous projection from this low down here as, or all the way over here, as my target for that day, right? So that's where I got 56.75 for the end of FOMC. Going into Thursday, I got a little mixed up in this price action here. I was still bullish on the higher time frames. I just wanted to see a bigger sweep of the low, even though this swept it enough that I needed, like, just plenty. And that is your Judas into midnight. And so getting a continuation here after we displace higher, run those daily highs we were talking about. And if you go back, you can look at the daily CE of the wick up here, and it'll be 08. That's where we hit. But that's when you expect a reversal, right? You expect it Thursday afternoon coming into Friday because of your daily template or weekly template, open, high, low, close. Tuesday low a week, Thursday high a week, right? So that was my idea and why I was short biased into today. This was the little projection I had down. We swept that. And once again, what did we do? We swept this accumulation, aggressive down, aggressive up. So that was, I'm actually going to go over why I was short bias here. So with that idea going into having Thursday the high a week, I want NFP to drop. Why would I want this area to drop right here? Mark out midnight, which is right here. So we get our deviation over midnight and we sweep these equal highs right here. So you may have seen on my chart, if you followed on Twitter, I had this little deviation right here marked out. So that was my idea to drop lower. Once we took this, I used some DXY analysis to want us to reach higher. I had a little 30-minute breaker in here, no closes around it, and Dixie told us we were going to reach higher. Breaker block right here. And then if we go to a 15, you can see we hit this breaker, back to this breaker before going lower. And I actually wanted these lows ran, but my eyes are kind of on lower for next week. So if we zoom back out, early next week, I kind of want to see this 4109 level kind of hit. That would just send us back to a discount of this range, kind of an OTE. If we want to drive higher there, do Monday, Tuesday, maybe low a week to go higher, or we can go lower, really, whatever. But let me look at the comments real quick. Oh dang, I don't trade London at all, so I would not be the one to ask for that. Yeah, this video is good. Replay. About going into Monday. Just kind of answer that. Oh, you wanted me to explain that? Okay, so if you notice on Twitter, let me just fix this real quick. I marked out this kind of area, whereas like this is interesting to me and someone wants me to explain it. So one thing I was looking for is before we had this price action over here, before FOMC. So if we go to replay, just go to like this, right? We had FOMC. Let me actually get to Asia consolidation, right? So I was looking at this area right here, right? And this area right here, and the similarities between it, right? So what happens is we have some sort of accumulation, a deviation from our range, a drop back down into discount, aggressive down, aggressive up. What do we do right here? We accumulate. Most importantly, we take highs and take lows, right? So we get this little broadening formation right here. Hope you see that. So keep that image in your head right there, right? Now what do we do? I move it over here. It looks almost exactly the same, right? Well, I'll do it like that. We have some sort of accumulation, deviation from the range, fall back into a discount, sweep this accumulation aggressively down and aggressively back up. What happens when we accumulate right over this high? We sweep up and down, and then we expand higher. Obviously, I expect more down with the volatility of FOMC, but that is another reason like why I thought we were going to go higher there. And then the price setting for the fib is just right here, there on the screen. You can freeze it if you want. I actually got this from AM, so. If you're getting confused where price wants to draw to, we just hide all these drawings here, right? Where's the displacement, right? Just starting right here. Where's the displacement? Displacement up, displacement up. Okay, little displacement down, little displacement down. We get displacement down here. However, what is it met with? Displacement up. It kind of like cancels out, reverses it. If you want to like do math, whatever, BPR, right? Our displacement's up. We want to be bullish. Right here, this is a retracement. Displacement down. This is bearish, right? Where do we go? PD array of this range. Where's the displacement now? Aggressively up. If you just follow the displacement, you're likely to find your draw. At least that's how I do it. So when we're down here and we get the displacement up, I didn't think we were going to go higher right here, right? Once we went higher here, okay, where did my eyes draw to? This original consolidation, right? Now my eyes are drawn here, during here. Once we sweep this low, I know AM, you wanted it, this sweep a little bit lower, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, you wanted it into there. I remember because you didn't want that, but we sweep that. We know we're reaching for this high, right? Now, once we're deviate, displace back into the range, where do we want to go? We want to go to a discount. I don't really know how to say or like tell you how to find your draw. It's more of like personal, just like experience, because everyone looks at things slightly differently. But AM, if you want to go over what you saw this week, I'll switch the screen over.
Yeah. I
All
mean, I
right,
think you mentioned most of it in like detail, but I can kind of talk. I think the main thing to learn from this week is about weekly profile. Um, so I can start on the daily here.
go for it.
So going into this week, I'm expecting this high, and I'm looking for 50% of this wick here. So I think this down candle is Monday. And when I see a daily candle like this, we're trading into a fair value gap. This wick right here is reversal, and this is a PD array. It's a rejection block. And when order flow is bullish, I'm going to look for the upper half of that PD array to be respected. So if we draw this out here, let's say that's about half right there. We want to see continuation up in here, and to refine that down on the 4 hour, the main thing that jumps out here is this BPR, balanced price range, overlapping fair value gaps. And when you have a bias, it's kind of something that's speculation until you get confirmation. So I'm expecting a bullish week. I'm not trading shorts on Monday. I'm waiting to see a high probability reversal. And when I see it trade into there, I'm still watching until this point right here. When we trade above this high and hold this breaker, and 9:30 to 10 o'clock is that time driver, and we push higher and displace. So now once I see this, I'm expecting a bullish power of 3 week. So most of the time we're going to see a low formed on Tuesday, and we see range expansion through Wednesday. And I mean that's where I posted a video on Twitter about catching this move. Obviously, it was on paper because I'm not willing to, put on real risk with money. Um, but catching range expansion through Wednesday. And the thing to learn with this is when you catch range expansion here up through a target, when we meet that target and we project from the origin of the reversal, we've reached max expansion through there. So I'm not expecting any higher price. And I took one trade on Thursday here. When we have big range expansion previous day, I sit out AM session and wait for the PM. So if you draw here, 13:30 is the start of PM session kill zone. I'm going to look for shorts because we're above an old high. So this is an extremely deep premium when we know that Thursday is likely to frame a reversal setup back into the range. So we have 13:30 here, and this is a fractal power of 3. Here, if we draw that out, that's the opening price for 13:30. And we obviously move up higher through old highs. We're above midnight opening, 8:30. So this is extremely deep premium. I'm going to watch for sells. And actually, if we take this here, using the bodies of the candles, that's how we're going to use our targets. Down on the 1 minute. So I'm not going to sell this. This is not, I don't see a structure shift. I don't trade low risk sells. That's really heavy displacement. So if we draw this out here,
The
this is a level,
reaccumulation.
right? So this is distribution here. And I'm not taking an entry here. I actually have a post about how to catch moves like this when the market's trading really fast and you're expecting expansion. I'm taking this entry here. I'm observing this level support becoming resistance. That's distribution. And I'm going to take an entry. Once we form this order block, I draw this out. Once price trades right below here, that's my entry. I'm putting my stop right above this high. And as you can see from the deviations, we're targeting -2, -2.5. It ticks that really nicely. Um, and then it just reverses from there. So
Yeah, and then we
that's
have
kind of the logic
earnings.
using,
So
right. So and that's the same thing with Friday. So when we hit that extreme on the weekly profile, we put in a high on Thursday. This is an SMT as well, so we can protect that high. Friday's going to trade within that range or trade right back into it. So trying to long and target highs like this on a Friday, understanding where the week went, that's kind of the logic to use, and you can use that throughout every week and kind of frame your days using that.
Wait, you guys have any questions for AM there? It's kind of dropping some gems there for PM session. Power of three, but yeah, I'll go ahead and switch back there. But yeah, not a whole lot to really go over unless you guys have questions. Um, uh, any setups today I looked at, I can show you kind of. I was sitting more on the higher time frames today, but I don't really feel like sorting through Discord. But like I said, if you go look at my post, I had what I wanted pre-market for ES, NQ, and the dollar. So I wanted this move down here, like this, right? I wanted a little bit lower. I wanted to this area right in here. So if you saw me, I don't know why that's off a little. I'm on the 15. That's why. Well, yeah, right there. So you could see if on Twitter I said 31. That's where I got that level from. So I wanted to move to 31, so I was off a little bit. But once we got a move down to here, 9:30, that's our time, like that's our driver to move higher. So then what I had marked out was I had this little breaker. Oh wow, that looks like absolute crap. I had this little breaker marked out. What I did when price reached into there is I watched how it closed. Um, at first, we were closing around it, inside it, but what I noticed was the dollar cost index was ripping while we were consolidating. Not dollar cost index, uh, dollar currency index, but this we were ripping. Let me go. So this is like 10 o'clock here, and if we go to the dollar, you can see dollar was ripping here at that time. So with that idea in mind, I thought we were going to take the highs, so I switched my bias from rethinking for shorts right here to reaching for overnight highs, which worked out. And then if we go back here, I used the 15-minute chart for this one. I used this little breaker right here as my point of interest. Reach back to this breaker, and then I was actually in class for here. Once we got this displacement down, I saw it when I was able to open my phone in class, and that's when I said I wanted 31 and then lower. But let's see. But yeah, as for lower time frame setups in there, you know, there's lots of ways you can take trades. It depends on the model you're looking for. Like if you're taking 5-minute order block entries, you know, whatever you use, that's up to you. I haven't really been on the 1 minute a whole lot. The price action I did watch today on the 1 minute was right in here. So what I noticed was got this move down, not super convincing yet, right? Once we get here in the second drop down, that is convincing enough to me. What I see right here is, we'll do it this way, all this low resistance liquidity. And if we mark out midnight, that is what I was looking for. So this is actually, this is the one trade I took today. Mark out midnight open again, which I guess I already had it right there. I just didn't label it. Go back down to the 1, right? So I don't really feel like annotating at all, but if you understand the box setup, right? Like I already had, this is our little deviation from the range, right? This is our first little sell. This confirms it for me. A lot of people would have been done here. I see this liquidity resting right here, midnight. So once we put this down, and then this was my sell. Nope. right there, just down there. So it's like 5 minutes, but um, I've been staying off the lower time frames, and it's been pretty beneficial. So, but if you want, if you just go take any of these like points of interest here, there's lots of different ways you can find entries. Once you know where price is likely to be heading, it's all about just managing risk. But um, let's see, missing a lot of these questions. Wait 1 second. Gold analysis, dude. I've looked at gold sometimes, and that thing moves like so weird for me. Um, a turbo block. Yeah, I love turbo blocks. Uh, my friend Turbo Guru, he's on Discord. Essentially, before we even knew what like mitigation blocks and everything were, we would just find these single down close candles in a move, and then we'd mark them out, and then we'd look for reactions out of them. But um, I'm sorry if I missed some questions. There's quite a few. You see any questions you want to answer, Ian?
I'm looking right now. Any advice on power of three? That's kind of something. Power three is something you're going to see. So say the draw on liquidity is to the upside, and you're observing, say, an intraday power of three. At midnight open, you're going to observe a move to the downside. And this is something you're observing it
That
after it's already happened. So you have a confirmed upside draw and you see the Judas swing happening, then you're going to wait for price to move up
that
and it's
was
going to respect the counter raise.
yeah, yeah, that's solid. Um, wait, what are those? PO3 for PM session? Yeah, I mean everything's kind of fractal.
You can anchor it to any time.
Yeah, I mean yeah, that's essentially like if you're wondering like what I'm looking for in terms of like market structure shifts, you're like looking for big up close candles. Like, how do you get a big up close candle? You have a large candle that closes in the highs. So I'm basically, yeah, looking for closes or above or below structure. How did Dixie give away the move higher? Let me pull it up here. And actually, do I have my Discord on? Where is it? Oh, it's right here. I'll just go to the Discord real quick and find where I had it. I'm gonna have to go search through it real quick because what time was that? 10:08 is when I said it. Give me 1 minute, I'll find it. And then it'll make more sense. .10:08, so oh, it's 8:08 my time. That's why I'm confused. Okay. I did it on stream, so I may not have posted a chart. Oh, right here. Oh, this is all I said. Here. I'll put that, or I'll just throw that in here, and then I'll explain. Right here. Okay. Or actually, I'll just open this in my browser. So if you notice right here, I was expecting a reversal on DXY right in this area, right? And so if this is moving up, I want to see futures moving down, but futures were just consolidating. So if I'm expecting this reversal and futures are just consolidating, when we do get this reversal down, I'm expecting futures to go higher since they're inversely related, if that makes sense. So right in this area, that's why I said, where are we? That's why I was saying I wanted Dixie to that 102.9 level, expecting Dixie to drop and send ES higher. So that's essentially what the analysis came down to there. I was a little confused if we go to a 5 minute in that area, right? I was a little confused because we just filled this fair value gap here. If we were going to displace down, then I'd want I reached lower, right? 31 was my area I was looking for. However, DXY gave me that kind of confluence too, that we were going to continue higher. Uh, I'm, I'd say I'm a beginner in analyzing the comparison between the two, so I wouldn't ask me too much about it. But that's just what I saw. What's your question, Summer? I definitely missed it. How does Monday look? I mean, Monday's not here yet, so I don't know exactly how it looks. 1, 3, 9, 13, 11. I normally wipe my chart clean off on start a new day. So like this one I just I've kept like this for more of like purposes of showing people. I was actually charting on this one today. But as you saw, I deleted everything. Um, what about Monday? So many people are asking about Monday. If you watch the beginning of the video, I already said what I wanted. I don't know what AM's thinking. Any thoughts for Monday?
I, I don't look at price until
Yeah,
London and up to
yeah.
9:30 forms. So I use that as kind of adding to the buy.
That's how I do it too. There's no reason for me to try to predict what's going to happen and then have like London or Asia do it. It's then why would I
Right.
predict it? Um, okay, let's see here real quick. I'm missing a lot of these questions, but I don't know. Yeah, sometimes they'll do that. So like I had this eyeball right here. If I zoom in, it'll be fine. But if I zoom way out, it'll get like that. That's just how TradingView works. Um, if I'm saying previous day low or high, I'm talking about whatever day we're on in relation to that. So I had all my drawings. If today I was talking about previous day low or high, I'm talking about this low right here, this high right here. Amir, good to see you. Amir's in the streams all the time. Um, I don't think I've mastered these concepts at all yet. I don't know. Maybe AM has, but I haven't. I'd say I learn something new every day. So, um, what up, bro? AM, question for you in chat. When are you gonna upload to YouTube?
Um, YouTube's a lot of work, so I try to do a little bit, but the recording and editing is a lot. So
Yeah, I don't think
maybe
people
just
realize
1 or 2
how
trade recordings,
I don't think people realize how long it takes to make and edit videos.
a
But
lot more than a Twitter post.
yeah. Uh I'm not backtesting right now. I mean if we wanted to backtest we could for a little. But this is just trading view. This is just the price action from this week. So um how's it going, Uncle Scrooge? But yeah, I know there's a few questions on those deviations. So how I use them is the move that swept the high. So for example, AIM could probably explain better, but for example, this is the move that swept the high, so I would just use from this high to this low here as my projection for this downside move, PM, and you can see how that worked out pretty decently, right? So, pretty nice. But I've never used the VIX, so I don't really know. VIX will just VIX isn't that just the that's volatility index, so like I don't know. I relate the dollar because as the cost of the dollar goes up, indexes go down. I'm not going to explain the economics and how they relate. You can look that up. Nixon chat. Asia 930 Judas. That one's for you, AM.
Standard is that standard deviation?
I think so.
So
Hold up. Let's see. How much for an Enigma? I don't know. I don't have it. Yeah, it's volatility. It's not really inverse. Like you can have a volatile move in both directions. It's not going to tell you kind of the direction. Um, AM, you get to answer the questions about the projection
Yeah,
because
the
I learned them from you.
projection projections are just a fib tool, so I think T Mac just showed it for a second, his settings. I also have a post about my settings, how you can set it up. But the way I use it is just on, like, if you go to the origin of a reversal, or you can think smart money reversal of a market maker model. So I kind of mentioned like the weekly profile before. So if we're trading within, where's Monday? So bullish expected week, where's the smart money reversal or the origin of the reversal to the upside, which is obviously this price swing here into this discount array. So I'm going to take this price swing and project that from the wicks. No, that's not even a fib.
It's not a
All right.
fit.
Yeah. So take that range and then, so forward deviation is going to be that maximum expansion. And if you look left, we have an old high here. So I'm going to anticipate that high. And once we trade above that high, I'm no longer expecting expansion for the week. And we hit that around Thursday. So that's kind of when we trade within this range. So that's the most basic way to do it. There's a way to do it with Judah swings, but I think that's a really good start for using projections.
Yeah, the Judas thing one gets a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
So, bro, bro, if you keep trolling, I'm gonna get you in the call. Do you trade crypto too? I don't trade crypto. I don't know, Aim, have you traded crypto?
Like a few months ago, but it's not that great right now.
Algo bucks. Breaker blocks. All right. My plan is I'm gonna plan on making some videos for these. It's just right now I'm taking 21 credits in school and um, I've just been stupid busy. But essentially for breaker blocks, we'll go to this one here. All it is you have a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high. Your breaker block is gonna be right here, right? So now if we go back to this one, right, we'll go to a 15-minute. Oh, so I already have those examples up, right?
You're not on your screen. You gotta flip to yours.
That's really awkward. So, all right, I'm gonna redraw that now. So you have a, we'll just say, right? So you have a low, a high, lower low, higher high, right? And then we get this return. That's your breaker. So this right here is your breaker block, right? That that high before the higher high. So keeping this in mind, we go right here. What do you have? You have your low put in here. So let's draw it out. Low, high, lower low, higher high, right? Obviously, it's not the same, but right here should be our breaker. So we go back, look, this up close candle before the move down, that's our breaker block. So that's why I had that marked out. Why did I have this breaker marked out? Down closed candles before the move up, before going down. It's just the inverse of it. I'm planning on making, I made that order block video. I'm planning on making a breaker block video, propulsion block video, and then a couple others. I was up till like 12 last night doing homework. I just have not had time to make a video. They normally take me 3 to 4 hours, surprisingly, for how short they are. But when studying, I switch screens. Yeah, that's awkward. Hitman. I love Hitman. I love Hitman. He's a beast. Can I go to the 2 minute from today? Sure. I didn't watch it at all, so I don't really know what it looks like, but Breaker's been your favorite things? Yeah. Um, one thing I've been studying lately is just you get a move down in here if you're expecting this to be your order block because it swept these lows, once you validate by breaking this high here, closing above it, this is something I've been learning from currency merchant videos, is like you can take that as an entry, which gives you really nice risk to reward. You can do there, right? Wherever you're targeting. But I'm still learning that stuff. So, uh, let's see. Yeah, basically, I like to think of it as like a failed order block, essentially. I don't know if that's right. 2 minute up close at 8:30. Call that a breaker. Thoughts? I mean, I would treat never really swept any liquidity. That's why I treated this as the breaker. But I would just this would be yeah. So like I guess I see what you're saying. This one, which is you're treating it as their order block, right? Once it gets broken over, find support. That's fair. I just prefer to find my PD arrays that I'm actually using on a higher time frame, like an hour or 15 or 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour. And then I look for models around those areas. Because if you're on a 1 minute or a 2 minute, like there's so much going on where, you know, look, you're getting displacement down here. You think we're downtrending when in reality, go to a 15 and we're just wicking into a 15-minute fair value gap, right? Face reveal 40K followers, maybe. I think at some point I'll film myself and put myself in the videos, but we'll see.
Do a face cam.
Do a face cam. Dude, the thing is, it's like when I edit my videos, I like cut all the blank space out of them.
Yeah,
So it would
boring.
make me look so dumb. Judas swing example. One that I remember was hourly on Thursday. I actually DM'd AM about this. We'll just go right here. So we had this move right here, this up close, and then these down close candles that retch below midnight. I used the bodies of those for the hourly, right? And then that gave me my projections for the day, right? And that was lined up pretty nicely with other ones, right? So that's an example of a Judas one, but I wouldn't overwhelm yourself. If honestly, I've had so many questions about it, and I'm not going to teach it yet because I'm still learning it, right? So I don't try to teach stuff that I'm still learning. But go to AM's page on Twitter. I put his link tree down below. Just go through his page, and he has one on almost every single trade. Just study them, and you'll figure it out. Um,
There's a few questions on smart money reversal.
you want to go over it, or you want? Yeah, we'll let
Yeah, I
you
mean,
go
I
for it.
think there's like a lot of ways to go about it because everyone trades differently. But I think the main way, the easiest, is to do find your draw on liquidity and then mark out, if your draw on liquidity is the upside, draw out 1 hour and 4 hour discount arrays. And when price trades into that, watch for lower time frame, lower sell. And then once you see accumulation phases playing out in a lower time frame, that's your confirmation of order flow in that direction. And then that's when you can confirm that reversal and then start trading away from that point.
Very solid. I moved the screen over to you if someone has questions on that. But
Yeah.
if you hit the plus on TradingView, hit compare, and you can compare. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to compare with anything though. I don't know. Uh, AM Twitter is not posted. Yeah, it's in the link tree right below, but here, I'll just pull it up real quick. Just run over to AM's Twitter, just scroll through his feed, and almost every trade review. I don't know, let's see. Almost every trade review has some sort of standard
Most of them, yeah.
deviation projection. So you should be able to learn. That's how I learned it. I asked Aim a few questions and just studied his posts during the London session. That's what I prefer the most to happen. I'm gonna switch back to my screen for a second before I start talking, and I prefer this to occur. We're just gonna draw it out. We have London. I prefer a or Asia. I prefer a London. I'll make this green. I prefer London to sweep the high or the low, and then to get expansion during the New York session. Let's go blue. Right, so that's what I prefer because it's just the classic power of three, right? You have your open in here, manipulation, high close. So then if you're marking it out, right? Let's say we're open, in here somewhere. Here's our deviation. We have our open, low, high, and then, you close somewhere in the high of the range. And then this is where you get your little projection, right? So that's what I prefer. And if I go to, we're gonna see if this chart is so cluttered right now. Okay, that was where I was explaining that, never did. Okay, real quick. That's one. So this is why this one confused me a little. Is I would have rather had a sweep of Asia low before going higher, but what that did is it gave us our low resistance liquidity to be ran for today, right? So if you notice on Twitter, someone asked me like, why would you put out a bias before NFP? And it's because of that. And obviously, I expected Thursday high to be left. But this is what I mean for what I like to see normally, right? So we have some sort of Asia range here. Mark out our midnight, right? And that is not what I want to do. So here's midnight right here. We're going to go to like an hour. Oh, that won't show on the hour. Hold up. 30 here. Where are we? Right here, right? So I prefer to have Asia swept. And if you notice, this is aggressive down, aggressive up. And then that gives me the bias to go higher and expand during New York AM session, right? And also it helps when my narrative is bullish and then we have highs to target. Right? So, and if you look at FOMC, swept the low, makes sense. So that's what I prefer. I also do kind of like these days, right? Where you just sweep either side of the range. That's your little seek and destroy pattern or Brownian formation, right? So once you sweep one side of the range, it's just you expect the other side. So if we're in London here, we take Asia high, we look for Asia low. Once we take Asia low, right, and we take this, right, now we're looking for London. Once London is swept on the high, then I want London lows taken. Or in this case, because of FOMC, we had that hourly fair value gap in this area, etc. Oh, that indicator name is if you just search up underscore boxes, or it's a future exchange session by Infinity Trading. I use it because it's a nice visual. I adjust the times a little so they kind of combine. So you'll notice that it's a little bit off than what it is, but that's just what I do. 8:30 and midnight open. I actually have a video on that. If you check out, should be like 5 down on my page or so. That should help you out. TV tool, the projection. All right, this is the last time we're saying this one. Projection is just the fib, right? So it's just a fib tool with those. And if you want a better look at that, AM's, I think it's your pinned tweet still, right? Isn't it? That Google Drive.
What is that?
Isn't that a Google Drive your pinned tweet still?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you go to AM's pinned tweet, he has it in there. Just go read through that. All right.
My bad, I wasn't paying attention.
I figured. Yeah, it's just a custom fib. AM, do you ever use True Day Open?
Yeah, that's just midnight open. So
Yeah.
the first thing every morning, the only thing I have in my chart is midnight opening and then the hourly. So yes, I use it.
Wait. Well, do you guys have any other questions about, we can go over more of this. It looks messy right now. Picasso. That was so funny on Twitter. But oh, dude, did you see the video Flacco made?
Which one?
Uh,
I saw a few, to be honest.
Here, I'm gonna send you the link to it. Oh my
The
gosh,
one of him dancing.
no, it's he made it of my drawing. Here, I'm gonna send it to you. Actually, just Twitter DMs because I'm gonna open up Discord real quick. Oh my god. Okay, I guess I'm gonna open up Discord.
I would be careful switching bias, bullish and bearish. Um, that's kind of why I use higher time frames and just trade towards the higher time frame draw. That's going to be your highest probability trade. And don't worry about catching every move.
Wise words beyond his age. Let's see. Do you turn on set in TradingView? I don't know what set is. Also, AM. How do I turn off this?
What?
The overlapping.
Oh, the on the side of the chart.
Yeah, because you did
You
not
have to,
like it.
you have to click on each drawing tool and turn it off. So
You're
it's kind of too
kidding.
late now.
Never mind.
Yeah, I would just
All
do it
right,
later.
not happening.
Yeah.
All right. Price hits a bullish order block on the daily. You drop to the 15 or 1 hour time frame to look for break in market structure. You want to go over that one? You want me to?
I mean, I would say the ladder of time frames for me would be daily, 4 hour, then 1 hour. And then anything below that is for entries. So I don't really use the 15-minute much. It's kind of too low for bias, but too high for entries personally. So below 1 hour would be 5 minute and below for entries.
I agree. I personally sit on the 15 and 30 minute kind of intraday lately, just because like it just kind of shows me what's actually going on. But
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just personal preference.
I don't have my own Discord. I'm just a part of the stat Discord. Um, what time frames do you use for your draw?
So daily would be like weekly profile and order flow. And then 1 hour and 4 hour, I'd be watching for where price should draw to, and then using that for PD arrays to frame reversals.
Bro,
So
can you
just
hear
those
my
three.
can you hear my roommates yelling?
Um, just now for the first time.
Oh my god. Oh
Yeah,
my
don't
god.
get stuck on the 1 minute. That's just not going to be beneficial.
Yeah, I think I looked at the 1 minute like all of one or two times this week, to be honest.
But I think the 1 minute's fine, but you have to be like trading it based on a higher time frame.
I think
So you
yeah,
can put two entries, but you have to understand where the higher time frame chart's going.
I think you have to yeah, as long as you like are actively like if you're actively searching for like a short entry, reaching for something, then I think it can work. But if you're only sitting on the 1 minute all day, you're probably gonna get lost. So
Yeah.
where do market maker models form? I mean, normally the smart money reversal is in a higher time frame PD array. So higher time frame is cool. So Nick, you see the comment? Um, how can I learn from you? I mean, I would recommend watching ICT's videos, to be honest. His he drops all the knowledge. I just post some refined stuff. So like if you're confused on order blocks, then you can watch my video, something like that. So I'd watch his videos. Uh,
See Thursday reversals, Tuesday, Wednesday. You watch the Market Maker series on
yeah.
ICT's YouTube through episode, I think it's 2 through 5. think,
Yeah.
and focus on the fourth one.
Josh, I actually kind of disagree with that statement. That's how you increase your risk to reward by just using lower time frames with the same targets. But um, but yeah, if you guys don't have anything else, I think we'll hop off. I don't know. This is kind of just an unplanned live. Thanks for everyone that joined in. I know there was zero notification that this was happening besides 5 minutes beforehand. How do you find 5 second or 15 second for market structure shifts? I mean, if we want to go down to a really low time frame, like I guess we could go during FP here on the 15 second. I haven't been on the second time frames in a little while, but like if we're searching for an entry down in here, I normally look for kind of a power of three on the lower time frames. That's where a lot of my entries come from. Is so we have some sort of consolidation. Here's our deviation. I normally want to see a retest of that deviation, right, to get a move. But really, you can just search for the same models you look for on a higher time frame. I prefer the 1 minute actually looked, was it here? Yeah, I think the 1 minute was pretty clean there. I don't remember. I think it might have been on NASDAQ on the lows. Yeah, I like that one. But everyone's model is a little bit different on how you like to enter. So,
I see a question on opening gap. I think
you know,
if you see a weekly gap open or even on a daily time frame, you should draw that out in time. Use like the ray drawing tool on TradingView and keep that on your chart for the week. 'Cause price, if it trades back into it, it kind of acts as a pivot, and you'll see it'll react to it. And if that overlaps with the bias you have, you can kind of use it as a tool for entry if it's overlapping with certain things you want to see.
yeah,
And if it stays open, it's a draw on liquidity you can target.
yeah. I mean, even NASDAQ today, if you just use the close yesterday, see how that one worked out. But yeah, all right. I think with that we'll probably hop off. Nick, yeah, easily MACD crossover. I don't know how that works, but I think like what somewhere over there, it's just like boom, there's your cross right at the high, easy MACD. How do you know if fair value gap should be trusted? I mean, normally it's based on like if you have a drawn liquidity. So like if I'm wanting to reach higher here, I'm probably gonna trust fair value gaps in this area. If you don't have real-time data for ES, I'm pretty sure you can just do what is it?
US 500.
SPX or yeah, US 500.
It's
And
like a CFD. It's
yeah,
pretty close.
since it's a CFD, it's free data, right? You don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, this is trading view. Bro, what is up with everyone trolling tonight?
Yeah,
No
they
way,
troll.
Michaela's on here. I don't use ATR. I don't use any indicators. Um, I'll sometimes use volume, and I'll just explain that real quick. So, like, I would normally expect a volume spike, like right here, right? So, if we like pull up volume here, oh my gosh, I don't even have it. So, right? So you can see we get a little spike there in comparison to the others. See that right there, and then we get that. I don't know. I don't really use it much. Roll time. Everyone, oh my gosh, dude. All right, you guys have a good one. If you want to secret monkey model. Uh, all right, all right. You guys all have a good one. Hope you have a great rest of your night. And
See you later.
yeah, we'll see you later. Oh my gosh. I gotta open up my